the gospel of our fundamental right. The very outset, I must thank our respected most senior John Cutter sir, who has invited me, not only today, since several times at several occasions he invited me, but I could not come. But today I made a point to drop in and step in his house and just said two things from this house. I want to convey a message. The message is this, that I am a scheduled tribe, we all are scheduled tribe. There is a special law for us. That special law, but before that, like if you have any question, please you can ask me. Don't hesitate. Consider me as your own brother. Don't think that Deuri is something. And I must clarify, Ramakanta Deuri is Tiwa Deuri, but I am Deuri is different Deuri. I am from Upper Assam, I am from North Lakhimpur. Deuri, we have our own dialect, we have our own rituals, we have our customs, okay? So, Jimosoya. So, Ramakanta Deuri and me, Deuri, there is a big difference. So that also I must clarify. So anyway, so my dear friends, my dear media brothers, Honorable CM, he said that Bhagavad, that book, Holy Bible of the Hindu, that should be, taught in the every schools. Now, the question arises, whether that book is important or not, I do not know. But for Raju Deuri, for people like John Cutter Indisar, people like all these social activists who are working as a team, fighting for our social justice, social empowerment, this is our Bible, this is our Quran. This is called Scheduled Caste, Scheduled Tribe Atrocity Act, my dear brothers. This act is enacted by the parliament to protect us because there are several laws as of today, but those laws are inadequate. For example, when there is a IPC, suppose we fight with some non-tribals, then when we go to police station, they give the irrelevant IPC sections that is bailable. But in this case, maybe punishment is 6 months, 1 year, but it is all non-bailable. The culprit, the offender, they don't get bail. Okay. Another thing is that in this act it says there is no anticipatory bail. That means pre-arrest bail. Number 3, there is no government approval or sanction is required. Immediately, if DC commit any offense, if SP commit any offense, if the crime is committed against any of us tribal, then immediately we can register the case. Now, when you fall ill, you go to hospital. When you are deprived of your justice, where do we go? We go to court. When we go to court, there is a basic procedure. That basic procedure is the FIR. And FIR is the document, just like a chicken lay eggs. So foundation will be your FIR. And most of the time, our tribal brothers and sisters are victimized. In the FIR itself, we do not mention. Please incorporate the relevant section of Atrocity Act. And this is the reason why we are always denied our justice. We cannot exercise justice only because of them. We cannot get justice because we are innocent. It is we are denied our justice because we are not aware about our own right, our fundamental right, our birthright. Constitution has given ample of rights. Law has made ample of laws are enacted for us to protect us. But till then we don't get justice only because we are not aware who we are and what we are and what is our strength. What do you say, sir? So, in this act, there is a provision. Suppose the DC doesn't comply certain rules, then we can file a case against him also. Section 4, it says about the negligence of the public servant. Okay, why I'm coming to that point straight? Because this is called another act. This is what is this called? This is called Assam Police Act 2007. Here in this act, the police should be impartial. It should be efficient, isn't it? But here is a beautiful section I would just want to read out because most of my young brothers, my young sisters, when you go to police station, police never register our case accordingly, and we don't get justice. But what is the duty of the police? If police commit such negligence, what we can do, where we can go, what sections should be incorporated again to the higher authority, whom should you complain? That is here. Here in this section, I just read out for you, my dear brothers. This is a section, the directions duty of the police officer. That means when you lodge a FIR, if police officer doesn't complain, how he committed offense, I just read out. Willful breach or neglect to follow any legal provisions. Okay, provisions means what? Means there are certain provisions they have to comply. Provisions, procedures, rules, regulations applicable to the police officers. That means as soon as we go with a complaint, as soon as we lodge a FIR in a police station, it is the police duty to register the FIR immediately. And this is not happening in my tribal elakas. The police officer take undue advantage of our interest. The police officer deliberately just to make a weak of the case, they don't put a relevant section. So ultimately, the victim is always suffered and the culprits always abscond, always never get punishment. Therefore, when the police officer, it says willfully or without lawful reasons fail to register the first information report as required by the section 154 of the Code of CRPC. That means in the CRPC there is one provision 154. As soon as we go to police station, police should register our case. When it doesn't do, then we must follow this. Then what we need to do? Second step, we need to go to SP of concerned district and we must apprise the matter to him. Number two, if he doesn't follow, still the action is not taken upon your application, then we should apply another, we should move another application before the authority DGP. Okay? That has to be. Then we finally, where we will go to CJM. We will seek a direction from the Honorable Court to get registered our FIR. And if it's not also done registered by if they disobey the Honorable CJM's court order, then there is an option to go to High Court under there is certain section is there, that the 482 section is there. So that can be applicable. Now main issue, the main point is there, my dear brothers. What I would like to highlight today is that due to non-implementation of this atrocity act, we never get justice. We shout, we democratically shout and shout. But we are suppressed, we are exploited, we are discriminated in every step of our life. We talk about a democracy. Where is the democracy? There is no democracy because our voice are not heard by the authorities. We never get justice. We cannot access to the justice. Sir? Am I right, sir?
Yes, right.
And as per this atrocity act, it is not the OC who is IO. IO means investigation officer. It is the above the rank of DSP will be the IO. That means investigation officer. And the culprit will be booked immediately. And a charge sheet will be framed within 2 months. Case will be disposed within 2 months. That means within 4 months, case is disposed of. If non-tribal commit any offense, he will be punished accordingly. Number one. Number two, there is a special PP. PP means public prosecutor. That's not an ordinary one, it's a special one. On top of that, there is a special designated court who will intervene this matter. Such a beauty of this act, the Assam government intensely, deliberately, they are not implementing this atrocity act. Today in Karbi Anglong, so many false case has been registered against my fellow Karbi brothers. They are taking undue advantage and making us to fool like anything. Even to the government servant, those who are working in the department, the illegal proceedings are initiated against my tribal brothers. And no one is raising voice against them. So we, as a tribal activists, we must raise our voice. When our lands are being dispossessed illegally by the non-tribal, here it is so clearly given that as soon as any non-tribal disposes us from our own cultivation land, we can file a case, immediately case will be registered. Another important point regarding this atrocity act is that there is two parts. One part is that criminal part will culprit will be punished. Second part is that you get a compensation. Now let me tell you the small story of your Sharmila Rongham. She did not get till today the compensation, but she will be getting as part of this Atrocity Act. She will get, since the medical was not proved as a rape, but it was now it is a death case, so she will be getting 8,25,000. Here it is the record. Here is the show. This is a section where the money how we get. If the tribal girl is raped and murdered, then she will get minimum 16,50,000. It is a minimum. She can get also more than that, but it is minimum is given here. For that, there are certain things we need to comply. We tribals, we never follow certain things. For example, death certificate is important. Post-mortem is very important. In the post-mortem also, there is lots of manipulation takes place. Doctor never give the correct information. They never incorporate the right word. For example, Borsing Tiso, a man who was killed by, gunned down by the forester. Sir, unfortunately, yesterday I got from the court order. Till death, Borsing Tiso's case now 6 months, his case has not been registered against those culprits. But it is registered as an unnatural death. When the bullet is already there in the heart of that Mr. Borsing Tiso, how can it be an unnatural death? Question arises. It is the Assam government, it is the non-tribal officers, always they discriminate us. They are reluctant, they neglect us. And we tribal people, we never raise our voice for our own right. It is only because we are not aware of our own right. So Borsing Tiso's case in the medical room is totally false information is there. And police deliberately, intensely neglected. They did not register my case. And as of today, the Sharmila Rongham, that case, sir, the girl, she should have got by this time that compensation, but her file is pending. And how we will say that this law is implemented? This law is neglected by the Assam government. Every district, every deputy commissioner, every SP should notice. And in this act, there is a government's duty to organize a legal awareness. When the Assam government, when every autonomy council has crores of money, but to spread the gospel of awareness and educate my tribal brothers and sisters about our fundamental rights and constitutional rights, nobody create any awareness regarding this act. Therefore, today I take opportunity to at least tell this Karbi Anglong, my Karbi brothers and sisters, that there is a law. Government is there to protect us and prevent us from all these kind of atrocities. Since the government is so reluctant, government is neglecting us, they are suppressing us, they are discriminating us. But at the same time, we as a citizen of this country, we as a son of the soil, we as the indigenous of this state, we must fight for our right. That's all, my dear friend. Any question, please?
So you were mentioning about the compensation of the less Sharmila Rongham period.
Yes.
So as you have mentioned that the compensation facilities is also available here. So
yes.
Yeah. So what should be done to to give the compensations to the victim of the family?
Victim of the family is like this. Look, here is this is called the Atrocity Act. This is a rule. Scheduled Caste, Scheduled Tribe Prevention Atrocity Act rule. Rule 1995. Here is a schedule. How much you will get? Murder case. This is a schedule. How much you get? 8,25,000. Now in Sharmila's case, the victim families, they should write an application to the nodal office. Now that part I do not know. It is for them to unreachable. But on behalf of them, I have made an application, sir. And the Deputy Commissioner of Nagaon, instead of phoning me, one of their colleagues from Koliagor, one ADC, personally rang me 3 ADCs. They will, what should we do? I will give a compensation. Now, as part of this Atrocity Act, Rule 12 clearly says that Deputy Commissioner should immediately, Deputy Commissioner, Executive Magistrate should visit the spot of the accident and immediately within 7 days, the 50% should be released. It is within the discretion of deputy commissioner. Deputy commissioner never exercise this power because they neglect us. One. Two. Since they have not given, there is a procedure how to get money also. In fact, one day you will not get that 8,25,000 in the murder case. There is a procedure because 50% after the post-mortem. Now her charge sheet is over, post-mortem is over, FIR is over. Now we are entitled for the all the parts. Here it is written two things. 50% of the post-mortem report, 50% when the charge sheet is sent to court. That means these two parts is completed. Now I am entitled to get 8,25,000. Now nodal officer, who is equivalent rank of secretary, who sits in the state level, that person, that officer, at present, he is the scheduled tribe, scheduled caste welfare department. He is a director, Mr. Sharma. The proposal has to be sent to Delhi. But before this proposal sent to Delhi, the deputy commissioner of respective district has to make the estimate proposal and send it to the nodal office. Nodal office will send to the Delhi. Then money comes from there and it gets sanctioned. And thereafter, the money will be released and it will be credited in the account of next kin of that or the parents or brother and sister, whosoever is the applicant of that particular case, that money will be credited to that person. This is a basic process. In the rape case also, even in the same case, now I have been observing here many fake encounters are taking place. Now another important issue I just wanted to tell you since you have asked me this. Now when police officer slaps you, when any DC slaps you, we are victimized, then what we can claim, I will tell you, here is victimizations at the hand of public servant. Just few days ago, Kerala High Court has observed and they have given one ruling. Non-tribals cannot insult, cannot abuse us in any public places. Even Supreme Court has given this. But how many of my brothers and sisters are aware of this? We are always tribal dowry black. We say, oh, service. Now I would like to say in this context, my tribal brothers and sisters, we should not become the yes men. The yes men culture should be avoided. Now if I ask a simple question, sir, does cow lay eggs? My politicians, tribal politicians, so-called the MLA, MPs, EM, GM of your council, my council, they say yes. But as a rational animal, does cow lay egg? गाय अंडा देता है? आप लोगों को मैं पूछ रहा हूँ, मैडम गाय अंडा देता है? नहीं देता है ना, कभी नहीं देता। लेकिन हमारा जो पॉलिटिशियन है, आप लोग का जो सीएम है, आपका EM जो है, MLA, MP है, ये लोग बोलते हैं हाँ। ये हाँ कल्चर को हमें एबोलिश करना है। One, two, I just wanted to tell you, there is state level committee in this atrocity act. Chief Minister, Honorable Chief Minister of Assam is the chairman, and our all tribal MLAs and MPs are member of that. In every district there is a committee, madam. In that committee, our MLAs as well as our panchayat and people like John Katra Inti, social worker, they are entitled to be a member of that committee, so that they can give the correct information to the nodal office or to the government of Assam and to the Home Ministry. Now in Assam, there are so many atrocity has been taken place, but the Assam government always writes, sir, there is no atrocity. And so many of my tribal boys and girls have been raped and murdered. Sonapur, my one family, they finished. 6 of them have been butchered. And till then, police has not registered a case. And then, till then, no charge sheet has been framed. Is it not an atrocity? Yes, it is an atrocity. Assam? No. So, yes men culture we must abolish, and we must create the legal awareness among our brothers and sisters. Whether you are government servant, whether you are unemployed, whether you are auto driver, but we must know our right. What is our right? If you may be, my brother may be an auto driver, but he cannot be abused in the public place. I should not say this language. We should not allow this kind of abusive language. What do you say, sir? He is earning his bread and butter by giving a service. Nobody like to drive the auto rickshaw. Everybody would like to sit under the AC. Everybody wants to be a white collar job. But due to certain circumstances, they may not be eligible to that. But today, instead of doing illegal things, instead of involving in anti-social element, they are sincerely sweating and earning their bread and butter and supporting their families. Therefore, it is right to work, and they have a dignity, they have a respect, and they must be respected. And my brothers should always avail these rights and dignity and honors. Anything else, my brothers?
Sir, as you have said that when police abuse us, just like they say they
chase you out.
Yeah, yes. That means yes, chase out. And just like you said that when they said, "Hey, kutta hai bolaya." So when we face such situation,
Yes.
and at the times, I suppose we don't have anything to record for a proof, right? So
Your at least witness will be there, someone.
yeah. But I'm taking just an instant. If no one is here, only the police and me is here, and police is just continue to abuse me, and I have nothing to record. For the
Not necessary.
Okay.
When your statement is taken up under 1 CPC CRPC in the court, you will tell the truth. There is a notification just in the month of June on 11. There is a very good circulation has come up from the Home Ministry, from the Indian government. Your statement itself is a evidence that you are being abused, you have been humiliated. And for that there is a section is here. I'll read out, my brother. Being a public servant, commit any offence under this section shall be punished with imprisonment for the term which shall not be less than 1 year, but which may extend to the punishment provided for that offence. So public servant doesn't mean that he is a god. No public servant is authorized to kill anybody. Borsing Tisok was gunned down like a wild dog by the forester. Who authorized this forester to gun down my brother? Where is the law? It is the court to decide whether he has committed offense or not. It is the court to decide the fact that who has committed the offense. It is the court to give the punishment, not the police officer, not even the Assam government. What do you say, sir?
Yes.
So therefore, don't be scared of so-called the public servant. Don't be scared of armies. Don't be scared of police officers. Don't be scared of those CRPs. Now in place where I am coming from, place called Margita, even we have filed a case against the colonel. Within the night, the colonel ran away. The case is pending. The victim got now 5 lakhs. And I am fighting for that. Anyway, any question?
Sir, you said also that you can file a case against DC also.
Yes.
So can you just tell me in which section?
My section 4 here is a punishment of negligence of duties. Section 4 of the Atrocity Act. Here clearly says punishment for negligence of duty. If the DC, if commissioner, if CO, now CO destroy our land property, immobile property, you can file a case against the CO, circular officer, if he neglect. If he or she doesn't comply or never take steps upon our application, you can go under this section, sir. It's very clear section.
It's all fine, sir.
Any question now, my brother?
So as we have mentioned that as police officers, OC is, if he refuse to take a FIR, then what will be the step for the next?
If OC refuses, most of the cases, deliberately, the OC never register our case. They intensely delay our case. Okay, and they never incorporate the relevant section. Suppose you slap me, it is available. If someone give me with a knife cut, I get a 10 stitches. Can it be available? No, it is not available. And for that, what you need to do, you have to apprise the matter to SP and DCP. If not, that action is not carried out or not taken, then CGM court is there and the special session judge is there. Designated court who looks after this special matter by the special court in every district.
Okay.
Anything else?
I think so.
तो assamese and open na and you खेती assamese sir yes sir assamese ro log koite sir assamese ro log to ha
আমি আজি ইমান কথাটো নকওঁ ফৰেষ্ট ৰাইটছ এইবিলাকতো নকওঁ বিচাৰা আজি ফৰেষ্ট ৰাইটটো নকওঁ কনভেনশ্যনৰ কথাও নকওঁ আৰু নিউ লেণ্ড পলিচিৰ কথাও নকওঁ আজি মাত্ৰ প্ৰস্তুতি একেটাবে
স্যার ল্যান্ডৰ কথাটো কৈ দিলে ভাল হ'ব নেকি ল্যান্ড পলিচিৰ কথাটো কৈ দিলে তো অলপ ভাল হ'ব নেকি স্যার
নেক্সট টাইম কম এতিয়া আমি বেলেগ এটা আলোচনা কৰিম আজি আপোনালোকক মাত্ৰ এটাই অৱগত কৰিবলৈ আহিছোঁ যে আমাৰ অসমত শিডিউল কাষ্ট শিডিউল ট্ৰাইব এট্ৰচিটি এক্টটো অসম চৰকাৰে চিনচিয়াৰলি তেখেতসকলে আজি ইমপ্লিমেণ্ট কৰা নাই WPT ডিপাৰ্টমেণ্ট আহিছে ফৰ দ্য ৱেলফেয়াৰ এণ্ড আপলিমেণ্ট অফ দ্য ট্ৰাইবেল পিপল বাট WPT ডিপাৰ্টমেণ্ট ইট হেজ চেঞ্জ ইজ নমেনক্লেচাৰ এতিয়া হৈ গ'ল কি হৈ গ'ল ডিপাৰ্টমেণ্ট অফ ট্ৰাইবেল এফেয়াৰ্ছ ব্ৰাকেটত পি নেচাৰ এই ডিপাৰ্টমেণ্টটো কৰোৰ পইচা আহিছে আমাৰ কাৰণে এই কৰোৰ মানিখিনি গোটেই নন ট্ৰাইবেল হাতত গৈ আছে আৰু এট্ৰচিটি এক্টত আৱেৰনেছ কৰিবৰ কাৰণে সিহঁতৰ হাতত 10 টকা পইচা নাই ভেৰি শেম অন দ্য আসাম গভৰ্ণমেণ্ট নম্বৰ 2 as and when my tribal sisters my brothers are victimized and they are supposed to receive the compensation the DC of the respective districts they should have immediately work out as per the section as per the rule 12 subclause 4 মতে DC immediately টকা compensation আমাক দিব লাগে আমাৰ ভিক্টিমৰ অধিকাৰ কেইটামান আছে আহা চোৱা তেল পানী আহাৰৰ কাৰণে পইচা ইয়াত মিছন কৰি আছে আজিলৈকে কোনো এটা DC SDC আমাৰ ভিক্টিমসকলক পইচা দিয়া নাই কি কাৰণে আমি পইচা পোৱা নাই আমি কেনেকৈ ক্লেম কৰিব পৰা নাই only because we are not সচেতন আৰু আমি কনসিয়াস নহয় আমি আৱেৰ নহয় সেইকাৰণে মই ৰাজনীতিৰে কৈছোঁ যে শিডিউল কাষ্ট শিডিউল ট্ৰাইব এট্ৰচিটি এক্টটো আজি 33 ইয়াৰ্ছ হৈ গ'ল ইণ্ডিয়ান ইমপ্লিমেণ্ট কৰাটো এক্টটো অহাটো অল অভাৰ ইণ্ডিয়াত ইমপ্লিমেণ্ট হৈ আছে কিন্তু অসম চৰকাৰে কিয় আমাৰ এই এক্টটো ইমপ্লিমেণ্ট কৰা নাই নম্বৰ 1 নম্বৰ 2 আমাৰ MLA বিলাক ট্ৰাইবেলৰ MLA বিলাকক মই কৈ ইয়েছমেন বুলি কওঁ এই ইয়েছমেনখিনিয়ে সদনত কেবিনেটত হাই লেভেল ডিছকাশ্যনত আজিলৈকে এটাও ডিছকাশ্যন কৰা নাই গৰুৰ পিছু ওলাইলে হিন্দু মুছলিমৰ কথা ওলালে ট্ৰাইবেলৰ মাটি ধ্বংস কৰাটো ওলালে কিন্তু এই such an important এক্টটো আজিলৈকে তেখেতসকলে এবাৰো সদনত দাঙি নধৰিলে and only because of tribal leaders today I am victimized my brothers and sisters are victimized মোৰ আজি ট্ৰাইবেল সোলহে কোনো কম্পেনসেশন পোৱা নাই ট্ৰাইবেল মাটি নন ট্ৰাইবেল মানুহে আজি কাহি লৈ গৈছে আমি কম্পেনসেশন পোৱা নাই আমাৰ কেছ ৰেজিষ্টাৰ হোৱা নাই তানত আমাক পুলিচে হলে খেদিয়ে উল্টা বৰসিং টিচক কেছ আজিলৈকে কেছ ৰেজিষ্টাৰ হোৱা নাই 6 মাহ হৈ গ'ল যিজন বৰসিং টিচক গুলিয়ে হত্যা কৰিলে পুলিচ ডিপাৰ্টমেণ্টৰ ফৰেষ্টাৰে সেইটো ন্যায় হয়নে না আপোনালোকে কওক মই যদি ইণ্ডিয়ান হয় মই ন্যায় পাব লাগে না নালাগে ন্যায় পাব লাগে না নালাগে Indian constitution লিখিত আছে ইকুয়ালিটি on top of that শিডিউল কাষ্ট বুলি আকৌ কনস্টিটিউশন দিয়া আছে শিডিউল ট্ৰাইব বুলি শিডিউল ট্ৰাইবৰ কাৰণে এক্সট্ৰা মোৰ কাৰণে প্ৰটেক্টিভ মেজাৰ্স ল'ব লাগে বুলি কৈছে প্ৰটেক্ট এণ্ড প্ৰিভেন্ট বুলি কোৱা আছে protect my life and property কৈছে মোৰ লাইফটো আজি আসাম গভৰ্ণমেণ্ট প্ৰটেকচন দিয়া নাই মোৰ প্ৰপাৰ্টি প্ৰটেকচন দিয়া নাই তেতিয়ালে মই ক'ত যাম কাক ধৰিম মই কাক ব্লেম কৰিম মই ব্লেম কৰিব লাগিব মোৰ টিলিঙা বজোৱা MLA বিলাকক মই ব্লেম কৰিব লাগিব অটনমি কাউন্সিলৰ GM EM চিফ বিলাক টিলিঙা বজোৱা কিনে আৰু মোৰ ষ্টুডেন্ট লিডাৰ ট্ৰাইবেল ষ্টুডেন্ট লিডাৰ বিলাক কেতিয়াও এই ইস্যু নিয়তি মাত এদিনো নামাতে আৰু আমি ট্ৰাইবেল মানুহে সদায় কিনা বেচাতে থাকে আৰু আৱেৰনেছটো যিটো ক্ৰিয়েট কৰিব লাগিছিলে নিজৰ সংবিধানৰ অধিকাৰ বাট ৰাইট অধিকাৰ কাৰণে আমি মাত মাতিব লাগিছিলে কিন্তু আজিলৈকে কোনো মাত মাতা নাই মাতিছে এজন মানুহ সেইটো হ'ল জন কাজে ইণ্টিচাৰ জনলাল বসুমতাৰী আৰু ভকেশ্বৰ শ্যাম বুলি কয় এই তিনিজন মানুহক মই দেখি আছোঁ বাকীবিলাকক মই দেখা নাই সেইকাৰণে মই এপিল কৰোঁ আই আৰ্জ টু দ্য গভৰ্ণমেণ্ট অফ আছাম and the chief executive councillor of this আপোনাৰ কাৰ্বি আংলং অট'নমিক কাউন্সিলৰ 6 শিডিউলৰ যে এটলিষ্ট এইটো এট্ৰচিটি এক্টৰ এৱাৰনেছ কৰিবৰ কাৰণে আপোনালোকে প্ৰচেছ চলাওক আৰু এৱাৰনেছ ক্ৰিয়েট কৰক নিজৰ সংবিধান অধিকাৰটো আমি জানিব লাগে গাঁৱে গাঁৱে আমি প্ৰচাৰ কৰিব লাগে আজি বিজেপি চৰকাৰে কি কৈছে ফ্লেগ লৈ পেলাই এৱাৰনেছ ক্ৰিয়েট কৰিছে আৰে ফ্লেগ ইজ ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট অৰ মাই লাইফ ইজ ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট মাই লাইফ ইজ ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট আই এম ডিনাইড ফ্ৰম জাষ্টিছ মোক ৰেছপেক্ট নিদিয়ে অসমত মোক অনাৰ নকৰে তেতিয়া মই নিজকে ইণ্ডিয়ান বুলি কৈ পেলাই ফ্লেগটো মোৰ কাৰণে ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট হ'ব নেকি নহ'ব চ' সেইকাৰণে মই সেইটোৱে ক'বলৈ বিচাৰিছোঁ যে আমি এৱাৰনেছ কৰিব লাগে এডুকেটেড যিমান আমাৰ ট্ৰাইবেল ব্ৰাদাৰ্ছ এণ্ড ছিষ্টাৰ আছে গভৰ্ণমেণ্ট চাৰ্ভেণ্টত কোনোবা আছে কোনোবা নাই বা পুলিচ ডিপাৰ্টমেণ্ট কোনোবা আছে এনি ডিপাৰ্টমেণ্ট এজ এ হোল ট্ৰাইবেলছ মাই ব্ৰাদাৰ্ছ এণ্ড ছিষ্টাৰ্ছ এটলিষ্ট read this atrocity act there are so many important provisions are there আমি সেই provisions খিনি implement কৰিব লাগে পুলিচে যেতিয়া intensely procedures আৰু rules and regulations ভাইলেট কৰে তেতিয়া আমি যদি কানুনটো জানিলেহে তেতিয়াহ'লে আমি সেই পুলিচ অফিচাৰ এগেইনষ্টত আমি লিগেল একশ্যন ল'বৰ কাৰণে কম্পিটেণ্ট অথৰিটিৰ ওচৰত চাপিব পাৰিম থেংক ইউ মাই ডিয়াৰ ফ্ৰেণ্ডছ
স্যার অপনিয়ন রাখতে যাচ্ছেন যদি অসি যদি এফআইআর
যেটো কমপ্লেইন দিব তেখেতে এইটো লিখিব লাগিব লিখি পেলাই এটা কপি তেখেত ল'ব এটা কপি কমপ্লেইনাৰক সিল ষ্টাম্প মাৰি পেলাই দিব লাগে দ্যাট ইজ দ্য ফাৰ্ষ্ট ডিউটি অফ দ্য এভৰি পুলিচ অফিচাৰ্ছ অফিচ ইনচাৰ্জ নম্বৰ 1 নম্বৰ 2 পুলিচ অফিচাৰে কি কৰে মেক্সিমামত আমাৰ চেহেৰা চাই পেলাই আমাৰ নাকখিনি চাই পেলাই চকুখিনি চাই পেলাই আমাৰ কেছটো ৰেজিষ্টাৰ নকৰে ৰিলেক্টেড কৰে আৰু বস্তুটো কি কৰে যদি ডিলে কৰি দিয়ে তেতিয়া আমি কি কৰিব লাগিব যেতিয়া OCA ৰেজিষ্টাৰ যেতিয়া নকৰে তেতিয়াহ'লে আমি SP ক জনাব লাগে কনচাৰ্ণ সাপোজ আপোনাৰ আজি ডিপুৰ যিজন SP আছে SP ক আমি লিখিত হিচাপে দিব লাগে যে আমুক তাৰিখত মই so কমপ্লেইনে FIR লঞ্চ কৰিছিলোঁ আজিলৈকে কনচাৰ্ণ পুলিচ ষ্টেচনে FIR টো ৰেজিষ্টাৰ নকৰে নম্বৰ 1 নম্বৰ 2 আপুনি কি কৰিব সাবসিকুৱেন্টলি আপুনি DGP সাহেবক গুৱাহাটীত এটা আকৌ লিখি পেলাই জনাব যে মই আমুক তাৰিখত তাতে কি কৰিব লাগিব যিটো আপুনি FIR এজাহাৰ যিটো লিখিত হিচাপে দিছিলে সেই দিয়া কাগজখন আপুনি ইনক্ল'জ কৰি পেলাই দিব লাগিব প্লাছ যিটো SP দিছিলে এই দুটা ডকুমেণ্ট আৰু পিটিশ্যন এটা তিনিটা কপি মিলাই পেলাই DGP সাহেবক দিব লাগে সেকেন্ড থাৰ্ড যেতিয়া হিমানতো যদি কাম নহয় তেতিয়াহ'লে আপোনালোকে ক'ত যাব লাগিব CJM কোৰ্ট চিফ জুডিচিয়েল মেজিষ্ট্ৰেট চিফ জুডিচিয়েল মেজিষ্ট্ৰেটৰ এটা পাৱাৰ এটা আছে 156 সাবক্লজ 3 তে এটা কোড অফ ক্ৰিমিনেল প্ৰচিজাৰ বুলি কয় তাত পাৱাৰ দিয়া আছে তাত আপুনি এডভোকেট হৈ আবেদন কৰিব পাৰে বা আপুনি নিজে গৈ পেলাই আপোনাৰ চিঠিখিনি দেখাই পেলাই এটা ডাইৰেকশ্যনৰ কাৰণে আপুনি এটা নিবেদন আবেদন কৰিব পাৰে আৰু কোৰ্টে ইমিডিয়েটলি কনচাৰ্ণ পুলিচ ষ্টেচনক কেছ ৰেজিষ্টাৰ কৰিবৰ কাৰণে ডাইৰেকশ্যন দিব আৰু ইনভেষ্টিগেট কৰিবৰ কাৰণে ইমিডিয়েটলি ডাইৰেকশ্যন দিব আৰু সিমানতো যদি বাই মিষ্টেক যদি CMA চিফ জুডিচিয়েল মেজিষ্ট্ৰেটে যদি ডাইৰেকশ্যন নিদিয়ে দেন অনাৰেবল হাইকোৰ্টৰ চকু মেলি আপোনাৰ চাবই 100% আপোনাৰ গ্ৰান্টি দিছোঁ মই 482 CRPC হাইকোৰ্টে 100% আপোনাৰ পিটিশ্যন চাই পেলাই ডাইৰেকশ্যন দিব আৰু সেই ডাইৰেকশ্যন দিয়া সময়তে আৰু এটা প্ৰেয়াৰ দিব মই ST বুলি কৈ পেলাই এই নন ST অফিচাৰটোৱে মোক নেগলেক্ট কৰি লৈছে এইটো বস্তুটো এড কৰি দিব দেন উই উইল গেট জাষ্টিছ আমি তেতিয়া ন্যায় পোৱাটো খাটাং আৰু কিবা